Mekhi Lewis at ACC's, lost in double OT to Lewis, which is extremely impressive. And then Augustine, third at ACC's in the 2023 NCAA qualifier. So two extremely good wrestlers, potentially the best match we've seen today. After that, Spencer Moore, Camacho opening in double overtime.
Faison won 10-6 on January 26th over Augustine. The winner will face Mekhi Lewis.
So Faison could have a rematch, this time not in the finals, but in the semis, which that's the luck of the draw in the bracket. That's why you want a good seed coming out of ACCs.
174 is so strong in the ACCs with 4 automatic qualifiers at 174.
And this is, we're really starting to get into the strength of the ACC. These higher weight classes are where ACC has 4 automatic qualifiers. Like you said, at 125, that's 2, kind of 2 and 3 scattered, but these higher weight classes are very strong.
Faison, one of the team captains for Pat Papadalizio. What a job he's done as the top man at NC State.
How much he's grown the sport, too. The fan base he's made. He talks all about the tailgating they do before games, or before matches there. I mean, he's the 2018 Dan Gable. He was co-NCAA Coach of the Year. 5 ACC titles in a row, 6 total. 3 national champs in the last 10 years. He's built this program up so much.
Yeah, if NC State wins the team title today, that'll be 21, and Pat Papadalizio will have 7. So we have 33% of the ACC titles. The former Oklahoma State star, like Glenn Lanham, and like the former coach at North Carolina, coming from Oklahoma State. And I get the feeling, though, like, even if the Oklahoma State job opened up, I may be wrong on this, but Pops really likes NC State, and he kind of laughs about the fact when he goes out now, there's such a big following for wrestling at NC State. People know who he is.
Yeah, like I said, he's really built that program up. I mean, he's made it somewhere to be in wrestling. Oklahoma State, obviously some place that has been huge in wrestling, has produced so many great NCAA champions and Olympians. And now he's brought it to the East Coast and made a great Southern school in the ACC, and they've just been dominant over the last 10 years.
15.
Kind of an abbreviated shot that time from Augustine. Again, the winner will face Mekhi Lewis, former national champion. Over on mat 1, 165, Hamilton from Virginia with a 9-point lead over Estrada from North Carolina. As double screen here.
Yeah, Hamilton really in control right now of that one. Isaiah Estrada trying to make something happen. Didn't compete last year. Was unattached.
Worth noting at 165, Duke moved Console up from 165 to 174, so only 5 wrestlers at 165 as part of the 2024 edition of the ACC Wrestling Championships. Still no score here, Nick.
Yeah, Faison and Augustine doing really well, matching each other up, not allowing anyone either side to get to what they're going for. Riding time's just at 23 seconds and 0-0. So there really isn't a way this one's leaning right now. Caution there for Faison. Winning just a hair early.
See a pretty big lead there at 165 for Hamilton over Estrada. We are in the third period, by the way, at 165.
Time for Estrada on mat 1 to kick it into gear. Under 45 seconds now. start attacking with a bat out of hell. Hamilton, good job there to use that force against him.
Augustine down, comes in with a 13-4 season record, 40-20 overall. Did win his last two coming in, knocking off Michael Wilson from Rider and Dustin McCoy from Virginia.
Good job there by Augustine. Faison had him with that tight waist, just had to drop him to the ground, but every time Augustine was able to keep his balance, know where he was in the air, stay standing, because that was a really vulnerable opportunity for Augustine. Could have easily ended up with 3 points for Faison.
Still no score with 1 minute remaining in the second here. 174, the 4 seed Faison, NC State, 5th seed Augustine, Pitt. Here we go.
Great job by Augustine. He sat out of it, had to break that grip of Faison off the waist. Does it, uses the head for leverage, quick turn, back even to the neutral position.
It's Augustine with a 1-0 lead. These two met back on January 25th, and it was a tight one as Augustine fell just by 2. There's another reason why you put this one as one to watch.
Yeah, they had a close match earlier this year. Both of these guys with a couple losses in ACC play. Kai Lewis, the only wrestler without a loss in that 174 weight class.
There's a former NCAA champion, the top man at Pitt.
Yeah, Keith Gavin returned to his alma mater back in 2017. It's the last national champ that Pitt had. Then he got Nino last year to break that 15-year drought. National title winners.
They love him at Pitt, Coach Gavin. Great wrestler, even a better person.
Through.
Yeah, you nailed it, Nick.
Came back to his alma mater for a reason. He wanted to bring them back to what they were doing the days he was there, and he's done a really good job to make them a really good program, nationally ranked.
Well, it makes sense to have those kind of aspirations when you consider the level of wrestling in the state of Pennsylvania.
Well, the recruiting he can do in the state of Pennsylvania. If you're new to wrestling, Pennsylvania might be the hardest state to win a state championship in. Obviously, there's others involved in that as well, New Jersey, California. But if you won a state title, you're a state runner-up, you're state top 3 in the state of Pennsylvania, odds are you're probably wrestling D1 somewhere right now.
That's pretty legit. Nearby Ohio has also sent quite a few quality wrestlers. But I like what you said earlier. A lot of those wrestlers are now looking beyond just the Big Ten and the Big 12. They're looking at the ACC.
It's become a lot more diversified in terms of conferences. Like you said, it's not the Pac-12, it's not the Big 12 as much. The Big Ten will always kind of have that overarching control over the sport, but ACC now with NC State and Virginia Tech is a great option. And one thing I love about wrestling is how you can go anywhere, and if you're good enough, you can win a national title. It's all you. It doesn't need to be the program, but obviously it helps.
Nick Klaas is 2 for 2 out of 3 as far as matches to watch, as we've got another one perhaps headed to overtime. Well done, Nick, as we're tied here at 1s, and I think that's where we're headed with 3 seconds remaining.
Hey, they're making me look good right now. 1-1 going into overtime. They've been just very even. 2 very good wrestlers, very good at defending each other. And you look at 1-1, you think, has anyone been doing anything? And they're trying, but everything's been well defended. They're good at keeping their distance while also trying to initiate. You haven't seen too many stall warnings. So it's not anyone just trying to stay in it.
Remind everybody, Nick, the story here in overtime. What happens if you score first?
Scoring first, you get the win. There's a takedown here. It's sudden victory. If we get to double overtime, then it turns into the 30 seconds of one. Augustine or Faison would go down first, be on bottom, and then they would switch. Both have an opportunity there. Here in this 2-minute period, whoever gets the win, whoever gets a takedown or a point gets the win.
It's a pretty good example of what happens in these situations. You want to take a shot, you want to be the aggressor, you just don't want to make a mistake.
If you've been with us since 125, you saw that exact thing with Spencer Moore. You don't want to be too aggressive because you don't want to make a mistake that puts you on your back and loses the match. And Spencer Moore had a mistake that put him on his back, and it wasn't double overtime. And that's what they don't want to do here. They want to be aggressive, go for their shots, you know, work towards the angle they want, but also not slip and allow the other wrestler to capitalize.
Faison trying to keep the head down of Augustine. Faison from Whispering Pines, North Carolina.
And that's a great shot from Augustine and great defense from Faison. He just uses the heavy hips, gets down quick, but keeps moving away. Right back to neutral, 15 seconds left.
So to further salute my main man, Nick Klaas, not only did 2 of the 3 matches he picked go to overtime, they went to double overtime, and here we go.
Yeah, when I picked these, I don't think I expected this. I knew they'd be close, but these guys really evenly matched. Like I said, they're both NCAA qualifiers, both very good wrestlers. And whoever loses this one has to wrestle all the way back. Luckily, 4 automatic qualifiers for this weight class, so it is a better chance than those 2 AQ weight classes, but still, that's a tough thing to have to do. Especially coming off a loss. That wrestling is so mental. Here's that 30-second I talked about. Faison's bottom first.
One thing you want to try to do is,
Huge move.
Whoa. The Wolfpack fans love it. Decent response to try to get away, but then Faison hangs on to that left leg.
A huge 2-point reversal there by Faison. Puts him up 3-2. They'll go back to the middle. And they'll switch this time for this 30-second period. And it's just a great job there. Faison knows exactly where he is. Augustine gets a little lost. Just the turn. Faces him upright. Puts him right back down. And it says 3-2 right there, but it looks like we are getting some score correction. It's 4-1 Faison over Augustine right now. And that makes sense. I was confused why Augustine got a second point. There was no escape that he got. Faison had that reversal.
Well, and it's going to force Augustine to start up to try to get that 3-point takedown. The issue is 30 seconds is not a ton of time. And Faison's so strong. Pretty good, pretty elusive defensively, so he's going to force Augustine to the point where Augustine may even run into giving up some points. At this point, it doesn't matter. They're in the second overtime. He's got to go for it here.
Yeah, it's all or nothing right now. I mean, there's no point to try and wrestle safe in any way. You want to move on to the semifinals. Right now, it's go time. And Faison's in the driver's seat. You see there, Augustine, quick shot. Change of levels, up, down, trying to do anything to shake Faison. Hard hand fighting.
Augustine knows there's 13 seconds left. He's got to go, and he's got to go now. 10 seconds left. Faison, he got a warning, Faison did. But he's got a 3-point lead, so yeah, did they give the point? Yeah.
And coaches will tell you, who cares that you have a warning right now? I mean, I've heard Coach Cole say it for UNC. It's like sometimes you just got to take it because you're trying to win this match. And you got to do what you can. And there it is, Faison getting the win.
And Faison pumping up the crowd. He's got a date in the next round with Mekhi Lewis, a former national champion.
Yeah, if you're within 2 hours of NC State, and in this example, you're within 30 minutes, there's going to be a huge crowd of Wolfpack fans for wrestling.
All right, let's take a look at the bracket for 1